Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be reacting to some more Angry Video Game Nerd, and it's going to be episode 178. That is right, 178 Angry Video Game Nerd episodes. Dear Lord, that's a lot of fish. That is a lot of fish. But it's going to be Mortal Kombat ripoffs. Oh boy, I've played Mortal Kombat, but I haven't played Mortal Kombat ripoffs, so I'm alarmed, I'm scared, I'm concerned. That's all the feelings I'm expressing right now. I'm very, very, very scared because if there's an LJN Mortal Kombat game, I'm gonna be shitting myself. But yeah, Mortal Kombat ripoffs. What could possibly go wrong? God, yeah. Why is every time someone says that everything always goes wrong? But please, just please, for anyone who is listening, to the Lord Almighty, to the angry video game nerd himself, please let these be good games for the sake of our souls. But yeah, let's check out this video, shall we? Let's go. Oh God, please let this be good.
Thanks for watching this episode of Angry Video Game Nerd on Mortal Kombat ripoffs, but you know what's not a ripoff is Raycon's everyday E25 earbuds. Raycon has some of the best wireless earbuds on the market.
Bit of a promotion going on here,
with
so that's
seamless
fine.
Bluetooth pairing, 6 hours of playtime that charge up to 4 times in their compact carrying case. They look stylish, fitting in your ears snugly and also matching your style snugly. And clearly, they sound clear, which really matters to a music lover like me. Speaking of music, the company was co-created by R&B singer Ray J and worn by people like Mike Tyson. With Raycon's bass
the guy that
enhancement
bites
and noise
off
isolation,
ears.
you'll feel
Great.
like you're in the ring with Iron Mike himself when watching Punch-Out gameplay videos, or when listening to his diss track, If You Show Up.
Oh boy.
And lastly, they're affordable, starting at half the price of those other premium earbuds. And now, they're even more affordable. When you click my link in the description below, you'll get 15% off your Raycon order. Visit buyraycon.com/cinemassacre.
Yeah,
That's
that's good.
buyraycon.com/cinemassacre.
Like I say, it's good to have sponsors because it's supporting this channel, so I don't mind that. Just gotta make a living. Finally, the original classic music. Yes. My God, yes. Thank God. I've missed this song. I truly have missed this song. Oh, it's so good.
Where were we?
God bless that music.
So as I was saying last time, Mortal Kombat went on to inspire a generation of knockoffs and imitators that just couldn't replicate what Midway was doing. But don't think that stopped anyone from trying, though I sure wish they did. Companies hungry for that sweet, blood-stained Mortal Kombat money went to cash in on the phenomenon, and the first to take a stab at it was Incredible Technologies with their game Time Killers.
Oh, okay.
Time Killers came out only a few months after Mortal Kombat did, and was really meant to be more of an answer to Street Fighter.
Never seen this.
However, the heavy reliance on blood and gore caused it to be thought of as a ripoff of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, it looks kind of
The
awesome.
game is basically the definition of nothing special. The only real
It's silly
defining
and
feature of
goofy.
this game is the ability to dismember and even decapitate your opponent during a
That's
match.
fucking
Which I'll admit
awesome.
is kind of amusing and actually satisfying when you can pull it off. It's just a flesh wound, right?
It's just a
There's
flesh
also a
wound.
fatality move you can do when the opponent
It's
gets
just a
dizzy.
flesh wound.
All you have to do is
Just
hit
a
all the
flesh
buttons
wound.
at once. It's cool the first time, but it gets old pretty quick because it's the same for every character. They just slash the arms and head off the opponent, and that's it. Once you've seen a character do it, you've basically seen everyone do it. It's funny seeing the opponent without a head between rounds, though. I could see this as being a fun diversion or a time killer, if you will, but I
Time
couldn't
killer.
imagine popping quarters into this game. The only reason I ever saw people playing this in the arcades was if Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter were taken up. It's funny to say, but Mortal Kombat had class, but this game feels like a dirty 50-cent hooker you came across in an alley.
Mostly because it's probably
It
cartoony-ish
really goes to
and you
show you
can't
that
take it
Mortal
seriously,
Kombat had
maybe.
so much more than just the violence going for it. The gameplay was fun and the story was cool. The violence was just the cherry on top. Not to mention, the characters were memorable. You know, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Sonya, Kano, Raiden. We all know them.
Yeah.
But who the fuck remembers Wolf, Leaf, Thug, Mantaz? I only know
I
them
don't
because
even
I'm
know
looking
them.
at them. The second I turn this off, I'll go back to my blissful existence of not remembering. The entire roster is just unappealing to look at. Their animation sucks.
Well, that character looks like he's from like Golden Axe
The
or
only
something.
character I kinda like is Rancid because he has a chainsaw.
Oh.
But oh my, is he hideous. He's basically the epitome of what 90s corporate suits thought was edgy. A big-ass hoop earring and a mohawk the color of mucus. Yup, that's 90s edgy in a nutshell, even though it says he's from the year 2024. Well, if this is what people look like in 4 years, we're doomed as a society. And
Well,
no, I'm not
maybe a
reviewing
couple of
this in the
social
year
justice warriors
2024
look like
because
that.
I'm doing it right now.
I
The
can
whole
think
point
of a
the game
couple.
is to beat everyone
They
and then
kind of
fight
look like
against
that, don't
Death
they?
himself to become immortal, which Death apparently is because he says it every chance he gets. To beat Death, you have to finish him off by decapitating him, which, trust me, is way easier said than done. Death puts every Mortal Kombat boss to shame. Goro, Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn. Death thinks they're all a bunch of pussies. All of his moves are insanely difficult to block, and he often cancels out your moves. He can even one-shot you before the round barely begins.
Damn.
Death is a fuck. I have an unhealthy amount of hate for this game.
His
Seriously, you need to
t-shirt's
spend a
different
goddamn
still.
paycheck to beat this asshole in an actual arcade machine.
3 pens, really?
Took me 14
Free
tries, but I was
pens?
able to
Who
slice his
needs
head off
free
Highlander
pens?
Style. So there's $7 in fake quarters and about an hour of my life wasted. Luckily, I'm immortal now. So this wasn't exactly the Mortal Kombat
pen and a
killer that
calculator
Incredible
you need.
Technologies hoped it would be, but Time Killers was apparently popular enough to warrant a console port. So here's Time Killers on Sega Genesis. Oh, those graphics. You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, this is
Okay,
anticlimactic.
so this
I
game
was
came out in
expecting a little bit more.
'96. I mean, what's the point? There were Genesis games in '89 that looked better than this. This could pass as an NES or Master System game. Look at this. Matrix doesn't even have a face. She doesn't have a face.
Yeah, it's a
The
bit
sound is
blurry.
god-awful, too. All the characters sound like they're being strangled. And the music sounds like the London Symphony Orchestra if they replaced their instruments with diseased roosters. The fact that this got released so late in the Genesis's lifespan, and no, the fact this got released at all, shows that they just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I played the game long
Oh,
enough to
boy.
get to Death, which took less than 10 minutes. I beat every other character on my first try, but Death is as cheap as ever. And unlike the arcade, you only get 4 continues. So, yeah, I didn't beat him, and I don't give a shit. I'd rather play Fred Savage Savage Fury Tournament Fighter. At least that one had better controls. This is not worthy of the Sega Genesis. I mean, I don't understand how an actual person could look at this game and think it was morally right to charge money for it. They sold this to people.
Yeah, they didn't
for
care. It was
money.
all about
They
money.
should be ashamed. But believe it or not, Capcom was actually impressed with Time Killers. The arcade version, that is.
Oh, yeah,
And
I was
also
gonna
that they
say.
gave Incredible Technologies the opportunity to make Street Fighter the movie the game. So get this.
Never-
A company that ripped off Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter was paid by Capcom to make a Street Fighter game that rips off Mortal Kombat.
Damn.
Blows my mind.
That's shocking.
Back in my Street Fighter 2010
They
review,
must have
I
been
talked
really
about Street Fighter,
fucking
the movie,
good
the
to
game,
get that
or
sort of
so
level.
I thought. What I actually talked about was the version that Capcom developed and released on home consoles. However, the arcade version is an entirely different game. So why did Capcom say fuck you to Incredible Technologies and make their own version? Well, just look at it. Gone are all the things that made Street Fighter a success. The precision is replaced with clunky button mashing.
Yeah,
the
it does
iconic music is
look a bit
replaced with
stiff.
generic droning background noise that barely qualifies as music. And the voice acting,
Watch your what? How'd you
yeah.
whip it? What?
Just like Time Killers, the game wants nothing
What's he
more than
saying?
all the quarters in your pocket. The game can be downright unfair at times. The difficulty
saying
spikes
try it.
randomly, and some fighters are damn near impossible. The worst fight by far is against Sagat. He has this eye laser that freezes you, and he
Eye
uses it a
laser.
lot. Boy, I am sick of that eye laser. Also, for some reason, they added Akuma, even though he wasn't in the movie. And he's played by Ernie Reyes Sr. father of Ernie Reyes Jr., of course.
Oh,
his teleport looks
dear Lord.
really stupid, like some kind of clown act or
Ninja
something. I mean, he just
whatever the
runs
hell
around
that
like a
thing was.
jackass. With all that said, the game actually introduced a number of innovative features that would be adopted by later Street Fighter games, but the game itself is about as fun as having anal leakage on a public transit.
Yeah.
No fun.
That's
because
gross.
of this mess, Capcom had to redo the game from the ground up, but Street Fighter, the movie, the game, the arcade, will
Free
forever
pens?
be
Why
another
free
skid mark
pens?
on the Street Fighter bath towel. Bath towel that E. Honda took a shit in. Okay, this next
Maybe it's
game
a
we have
subliminal
here,
message. Maybe it's an
Jackie
Easter
Chan
egg.
in Fist of Fire. Now this I could actually get into. It's a Mortal Kombat ripoff with Jackie Chan.
Oh,
I
fuck
don't care
yes.
if the game sucks or not. It's Jackie
It's
fucking
fucking
Chan.
Chan.
in a
It's
Mortal
fucking
Kombat
Jackie
style
Chan.
fighting game.
What more could you
All
ask
right.
for?
This is actually an update of a game
10 out of
called
fucking
Jackie
10.
Chan, the Kung Fu Master. In that version, Jackie Chan's a boss character and
Jackie
isn't
Chan
playable,
is
though.
the
But in
shit.
Fist of Fire, you get not one, not two,
He is
but
a
three
god.
versions of Jackie Chan to play.
Oh, sweet
This game
baby
is
Jesus.
ass, but it's fun ass.
It's
It's
Jackie
in no way a
Chan.
perfect game, but if I saw this at an arcade, I'd definitely toss
I
some
would.
quarters in. Other than the
Absolutely.
3 versions of Jackie Chan, there's also 6 other characters
Jackie
to
Chan
choose
has
from,
broken every
each of which
bone
was
in his
either
body to
Jackie
make a
Chan
movie.
or part of his stunt team. The game is pretty damn difficult, but the novelty alone
got like
makes
a
it
hole in
fun
his
to
head
play.
as well.
Also,
Jesus.
there's fatalities. That is, unless you're fighting as Jackie Chan or against him. He's the only character that can't be finished off, and if he loses, he gets right back up and congratulates the winner. And that is so
Like a true
Jackie Chan, to
professional.
get right back up after a
Yeah.
beatdown and give a thumbs up.
Yeah.
The fatalities are actually pretty gruesome, too. People get cut in half,
very
crushed,
honorable.
and blood sprays from their throat. Other than that, it's pretty lighthearted like most of his films. This would definitely be good for getting some friends around, having a beer, and beating the shit out of each other.
He should have
In
used the
game,
environment,
not in
like
real life.
chairs or something like that.
Overall, a fun diversion. It was good to cleanse the palate from all the diarrhea we've been gargling. But don't worry, from here on out, you're going to see some serious shit.
Oh god, no.
Here it is. Tattoo assassins.
What?
Now, we're really
Tattoo
getting into
ass
it. This is
assassins?
possibly the most notorious of all the Mortal Kombat
This
ripoffs,
game is
and the
awesome.
crazy thing is it was never actually released. The game was developed by Data East Pinball, a company that, well, get this, only made pinball games.
Wow.
Who would have thought? But what's even crazier, it was created by Bob Gale, the writer of Back to the Future.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't even know what to think of this. A Mortal Kombat ripoff developed by a pinball company,
That's
created by the writer of Back to the Future?
bizarre.
Is this real life? The story centers around this guy in a diaper and his magic
the
ink that
fuck?
gives people powers. Only certain people can handle the ink, while others turn into hideous mutants. An evil guy named Colden steals the ink and decides to make an army of mutants to take over the world, and you have to stop him. There's 9 extremely generic characters to choose from, all with their own unique
course.
marketing logo and backstory. Honestly, though, I haven't read any of them because I can't stop staring at their faces. The eyes are drawn on most of them. Some look okay, I guess, but others have these weird goofy
Ooh,
eyes that are
ooh.
staring off to the side.
God,
And
that
best
is
AC
scary as
Current
shit.
with the goofiest smile I've ever seen. So what really makes
Fella was
Tattoo
sucking out
Assassins
my
stand
fucking
out
soul.
from all other fighting games is the amount of fatalities. Yeah, they really cut no corners with this one. I mean, this has more fatalities than any other game. You know how many? 2,196.
Holy
wow.
shit.
I don't know, guys. You think maybe? Do you think that's enough fatalities?
It's gonna
I mean,
be good,
if there's
right?
2,196 fatalities and 9 characters, that means each one has 244 fatalities.
Damn.
Mortal Kombat only has 1 or 2 per character, but that's pussy shit compared to Tattoo Assassins.
This is the fucking ultimate.
Yeah, no joke. There are so many fatalities that all you have to do is mash random buttons at the end of a fight, and odds are you'll do one. I swear, I'm just
Wow.
hitting whatever, and I do a fatality every time. Well, the game's great for people who can't pull off fatalities.
Yeah,
All
I
you have to
suck
do
at
is mash
fatalities.
buttons, and there
I
you go.
suck at-
Well, thank God for Bob Gale and Data East Pinball. The fatalities can get pretty weird, too. I mean, they really took the idea to the most absurd levels. People turn into Mona Lisa, have a fly swatter smash them, get crushed by a JPEG of the Titanic,
What the
and my
fuck?
favorite, get burned to death by flaming farts.
Of course.
Okay, I'll
The
give them
logic.
that. Mortal Kombat didn't have flaming fart fatalities. Not until the PlayStation 2 era.
You gotta appreciate their creativity. Yeah. Oh boy.
They even threw in some amusing nods to Data East and Back to the Future. You can have a DeLorean run your opponent over or crush them with this burger time thing. The weirdest one I've seen, you fart out a turkey and it splits into more turkeys that bounce you and the opponent all over the place.
The
I don't know
hell?
what they were on. I mean, possibly, maybe drugs? There's even a nudality. No joke. This was always a rumor about the original Mortal Kombat, but Tattoo Assassins actually went and did it. While Tattoo Assassins goes above and beyond in the fatality department, it completely took it up the ass on gameplay. I feel like no matter who I play as, my hits barely connect. That is, unless I play as Carla. She's basically a mixture of Sub-Zero and figure skater Nancy Kerrigan. With her, I can pretty much fuck up everyone in the game. Even the boss characters are pretty easy, and let me tell you about the bosses.
Okay.
Before you fight the main guy, Colden, you have to fight his 3 mutant warriors.
Oh,
First
boy.
is Rhina, a rhino woman who moves super fast.
It's
She's
like an
pretty
Egyptian
easy. In
sort
fact,
of
sometimes she won't do
pose.
shit and just stands there. Second, you fight DK. Get it, like DK, because he's a
DK.
zombie. I'm pretty sure he's just one of the guys at the Data East pinball office in a Party City zombie costume. And last, there's Prism, a crystal skeleton guy who dies in 4 hits. Seriously, you just jump kick him 4 times and he explodes. I don't know if that was on
Damn.
purpose, but it is what it is. Colden is just a cheap final boss. If he wins, he stabs you with his Freddy Krueger glove. But if Carla wins, he explodes spectacularly and she goes to Disneyland.
Oh,
I like how
why
they just
not?
photoshopped some Mickey Mouse ears on the only picture they had of her. So there's
Disneyland.
Tattoo
Let's just kill a few
Assassins.
people and let's go to
Sadly, Data East
Disneyland.
pinball's no more. But I think they'd be proud to know that
Fuck,
their
that's how
game
it
that never got
works.
to see a wide release ended up gaining a bit of a cult following years later. So this brings me to our last game, and for this one we're taking a detour away from the arcades and digging out the old 3DO.
Okay.
And this one also happens to be one of the worst fighting games I've ever played.
Oh,
Shadow
God.
War Succession.
Never heard of it, but
Now,
I'm
before I show you
scared.
this, I need you to keep in mind, this is a real game. This was released on home consoles. The first thing you get is this cutscene of a
Okay, this is
helicopter
a real
flying
game.
past the Statue of Liberty, which is piss yellow
Which
for
is-
some reason.
yeah,
How'd
why-
they screw
why
that
is
up?
it
Because
yellow?
The
It's-
helicopter's green. So it's not like they couldn't make it the right color. Also,
Yeah,
listen
it's-
to that music.
It should be green.
This was on the 3DO, a CD-based console, and the music sounds like it was made by someone fucking a Casio. So then the helicopter flies up
Fucking
to
a
a building
Casio.
where a terrible 3D model is standing and begins to shoot into it
Casio
at 1
keyboards.
frame per second. Turns out this was a hit on Kincaid Storm, a billionaire and leader of the evil organization SHADOW, Shadow, which stands for Syndicate of Hate, Anarchy, Destruction, and Organized Warfare. But it should stand for shitty heap of ass doused in orangutan whiz.
Oh,
Good
damn.
lord, look at that select screen. Look at those characters. Anvil, Carlos, or is it Carlo 3?
Carlo
I mean, holy
3.
shit, I know I called the characters in Time Killers and Tattoo Assassins
What the hell is
generic,
that, guys?
but for
It's
fuck's
like fucking
sake,
Tommy
this
Wiseau.
game changes the meaning. I don't even think generic
Tommy
covers
Wiseau
it.
with a samurai sword.
Let's see, this game is a bitch to play and
Like Samurai
it
Cops or
sucks.
something.
There should be a new, stronger word for shitty games like these, like a bitch sucky or suck bitch. This game's a suck bitch. So, surprise, Shadow War Succession has absolutely no redeeming factors. The control is basically non-existent. You could throw the controller across the room and piss on it and get the same result as actually trying to play it normally. The sound is an auditory anus fisting. Also, the voice acting is hilarious.
Okay.
I will be the next Shadow King!
Prepare to eat lead, baby!
What
Go to
the
hell!
Underneath all that garbage, you're just like all the street punks I've wasted before!
I think the best part, though,
God.
is the fact they forgot the fatalities. They forgot the fatalities.
Forgot the
The
fatalities,
game prompts
yeah.
you to finish your opponent.
Even the
but
Resident
they
Evil
never actually programmed the fatalities.
voice was
I'd
even
rather
more
play
superior
Mortal
to
Kombat on the
that.
Super Nintendo than this any day. I'd rather play the Genesis
Was-
version with the 3-button controller. I'd rather play the Game Boy version or even the Tiger games instead of this. How do you rip off Mortal Kombat but fail so hard you forget to program fatalities in the game? Not like it'd help. The game
Meh.
itself is such a mess.
I
that
mean, I
nothing
wasn't
could possibly
expecting
save
much,
it.
so-
The first time I played this game, I used 7 continues on the first character.
Kinda also looks
Gabriella,
like Weird
and mind
Al.
you, I was on the easiest
Kind of
difficulty.
Weird Al
No matter
with
what
a
I did,
samurai
I couldn't
sword
hit
or
her.
something.
Then, when I tried everyone else, I finally chose Gabriella and realized that she seemed to be the only character that was actually programmed somewhat right. She's the only person I can actually win as. With everyone else, I get my ass stomped, especially Carlos, and he's holding a goddamn shotgun. So I struggled my way through the game only to get to the end and find out you can't fight the boss on easy mode, so I went through again. I was able to get to the end with all my continues intact, but then I got to the final boss. Apparently, he's the guy from the beginning who got shot by the helicopter, but now he's a cyborg or whatever.
Of course.
It doesn't matter. All you need to know is he puts every video game final boss to shame, even death from time killers. On top of the controls not working most of the time, he's cheap as fuck. He constantly spams projectiles, takes less damage than normal characters, and has a spin move that's the thing nightmares come from. Once he uses it, you're pretty much fucked, because then he just beats the ever-loving shit out of you in the corner. So here we go. I blew 8 continues, and this is my last one. It's do or die. I've come this far, and I can't bear the idea of playing this one more minute. And he destroys me.
Of course.
Game over.
Pepsi Man.
That's
Yes.
it. I lose. I get nothing.
Pepsi Man.
Good day, sir. But fuck that. I can't just go about my day and forget the horrors I witnessed on the 3DO. I just can't shake my need for satisfaction. I have to play through it to get closure. But this time, I know what to do. I almost had him the last time. This time, it'll be different. And after an hour of jumping around like a fucking idiot and listening to the same phrase over and over, I finally get back to that son of a bitch. And this time, I fucked his shit up on my first try.
Good job.
Hell yeah.
The death of her former employee at her hands
Well, that's the ending.
Grimilla with a
Can't say I expected
sense of
much.
confusion. Yeah, I was
had to beat
expecting
it
a little
for my
bit
own
more.
peace of mind, but was it worth
epicness.
it? No. Truthfully, I'd rather lick a cat's asshole.
Oh.
Cat's hole.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, if you have a black cat like mine, the brightest part on the cat is the asshole. It almost glows in the dark. When he runs down the basement, it looks like a white dot bouncing down the steps. Cat's hole. Looks like a broken off banana. But before I start elaborating further on cat's holes, I better come up with an ending.
I don't want to picture that.
Unfortunately, I got nothing. So, I'll just have to rip off some previous AVGN episodes.
Yeah, that's the toaster.
So after you beat the boss, you get to see the best ending in video game history.
What a piece of shit.
Shit, pickle.
You're easier to beat in real life than you are in that fucking game, you no good piece of...
Of course. These classic destruction scenes. Okay, that was a very strange way of ending the video. That's what happens when you sort of go bankrupt on ideas. But it's understandable. When you do 178 episodes, you can't, think of something else. When you've found every single possible way to destroy a video game, unless you got to freeze it to death and it was completely frozen and break it into bits. Who knows? There's tons of ways to destroy video games. Someone should make 100 ways to destroy a NES game. I don't know. Yeah, that was Mortal Kombat ripoffs. Some of them were... well, some of them were absolutely god-awful terrible. But you know what? Some of them were actually looked okay. It was actually quite fascinating, some of them. But the last one, that was god-awful, of course. But yeah, I've played Mortal Kombat, but I haven't played Mortal Kombat ripoffs. I mean, I've played Mortal Kombat, maybe a ripoff here and there, but not to this extent where it's absolutely god-awful terrible. Not to the point where I've played Mortal Kombat ripoffs at this sort of level of staging. Some of them were pretty decent. Yeah, it was pretty good. Very strange indeed. I wish the nerd would sort of expand a bit. I don't know why he's changed his t-shirt. It's a bit different from what we're normally sort of expecting, I'm not sort of moaning, critiquing, but I want the old t-shirt back. I want the old white plain sort of wrinkled, unironed t-shirt with like one pen and a calculator or a ruler in it. I don't know. I just like the old t-shirt. I think it's much more better. So I know that's nitpicking, but I do really do enjoy the old t-shirt. I mean, he brought back the original, Angry Video Game Nerd theme. So why not just a t-shirt as well? If you're gonna go for the original, go for the original song and original t-shirt, and go for that instead. And I also wish there was a little bit more sort of action. You know, him sitting down just talking about the video game. It's good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the video, but I want to see sort of like a Bugs Bunny's birthday blowout sort of action going on where the nerd is actually physically fighting with Scorpio and stuff like that. You know, the characters from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, but I just want to see a little bit more action. But that's maybe just me. Maybe I'm just being a little bit nitpicky. But yeah, I could see these a little bit slowing down, sort of changing a bit. But it was still good. Like I keep saying, don't worry, these are still good. I really enjoy these episodes, but I want more. I want to see fucking explosions. I want to see the world end. I want to see LJN, the Rainbow of Death, pour down the destruction of Hail Mary on this earth. And the nerd has to fight LJN, the Rainbow of Death, with his fucking power glove. I want to see epicness. I want to see a fucking Michael Bay action scene. I want to see fucking death and destruction all around. That's what I want to see. And for those who understand that, yeah, totally awesome. But yeah, these are good. These are good episodes. But I want to see more. I want to see explosions. I want a Michael Bay action scene. But yeah, you can tell he's sort of slowing down. Maybe he's working his way up. Maybe he's just doing these sort of slow-paced episodes, and he's actually working on a very big episode. So yeah, maybe we're gonna be expecting, something like the Pepsi Man. Maybe he's got something lined up for us. In another 2 or 3 months, he's got something good coming. Really massive, majorly cool. But I hope so. I really do, because I don't want to see him just sit down talk about video games. I just love it when he's getting frustrated and stuff like that. So yeah, I know I'm nitpicking, but you know what? I just love his work, and that's the only reason why I'm nitpicking is because I love his work. That's why. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.